PCS Laundry Live Week 7. What's up, PCS fam? I don't see anybody out there yet, but we're going to get this one popping tonight. Got a lot of things to talk about. Let me know you're out there. I don't see anybody. All right, here we go. Aubrey, Chris Scalzo, a couple of people popping in. Welcome. First of all, thanks everybody, as always, for your continuing wonderful support of Planet Common Sense, the website, as well as PCS Laundry Live, the live show. Couldn't do it without you. Appreciate it. And thank you so much for being with me. Take a moment to click the link I posted before. Go to Amazon, pick yourself up a copy of Thoughts from the Real, 7-year-old book, which was basically a best of from the original Planet Common Sense platform on WordPress, $3.99 on Amazon. And that's all I had to say about that, because we got a lot to get to tonight. Broadcasting live from White Plains, New York, on Lexington Avenue, just outside the Lexington Laundromat. We're actually a little bit... I'm going to tell you something before we even get going. This is weird as hell, because daylight savings time kicked in, and it's light out, and it's just freaking me out. So I guess you can see things a lot better. Not that there's a whole lot to see, but it's kind of weird doing this in the light. I feel a little off balance, but I'm off balance most of the time anyway, and this is just a different kind. Got some fire trucks going by, so I think I'm probably just going to chill for a second. Hang on. All right. Just a quick rundown on some names. And I'm going to jump right in. We got Mike Petty. We got Shari Davis Raymer. That's a newbie, I think. Judy Ann. Francie Forbes visiting us for the first time, if I'm not mistaken. Hey, Francie. Chris Scalzo. V. Marie. Deb Patera. Barbara Brickhill. Kira Weber. Hopwood. Here come the Pope. No, it was fire trucks. It wasn't the police. The police will be along any minute now. Sitting in a little different spot today. I'm down the block a little bit. I figure we use this light to just look at a few things. But if you look up here to your left, we are sitting just outside the Charles... I can't remember the name of it. I don't have my glasses on and I can't see. I'm an idiot. And I still can't... The Charles L. Bryan United States Courthouse. It's the federal courthouse. And I'll tell you what's so special about this place to me. Is I live... just about a half a mile from here. It's an easy walk. I don't pass it all the time. It's a block over from where I normally walk, but it's an easy access place, and it's real easy to get to. And this might be a long shot in a couple of different levels, on a couple of different levels. But I'm holding out hope that one day, in this building, the United States Federal Courthouse in White Plains, New York, Hillary Clinton is going to be brought to justice for her crimes. And if that happens, I'm going to be here with a big smile on my face, with this camera on live, to watch them haul that miserable, crusty, rotten, corrupt, national security risk, twat, goblin, bitch out of this place in handcuffs, throw her in the back of a blacked out government SUV, and take her cracked old ass away to a federal penitentiary somewhere. I had to get over the fire trucks, but that's the sentiment, you know. It came from the heart. Brenda Kelly, that'll be a sweet, sweet plum. You got that right. And it's going to happen right here. There's a million federal courthouses out there. It could happen anywhere. They're going to do it in Washington. But you know what? If they go after it for the Clinton Foundation / slush fund / Chelsea's wedding fund booty, this could be the place. So, come on, New York Southern District. I know you're the country club rotating door for all the seditionist leftists. And you don't typically bring your power lords to justice, but I'm holding out hope on this one. So maybe I'm just a happy optimist, and we'll see how that goes. So The sirens were very V. Marie. The sirens are warming up for their Hillary retrieval already. It was actually fire trucks, but that was kind of cool that the sirens started firing away. That would have been a great sound effect if I would have thought of it. But at last, I did not. So I had two things I definitely want to talk about that happened today. First of all, I thought that was a pretty good idea a little earlier when I put up the thing about, hey, don't forget about PCS Live. And what do you want to talk about? And you all put up a bunch of stuff, and I took down a whole bunch of notes of all the things, and I can't find the notes, so fuck me. I'm stupid. But I'm sure a lot of this stuff will come up anyway, but I will pursue that in the future, and I'll do it a little earlier and try and get a little more organized, because I think that was kind of a good idea. Just have a little reference point and make sure I don't forget certain things that I do want to talk about. A couple of things I do remember. We had some laundry questions, so we can knock those out real quick. And I'm not sure if I remember whose name went with whose questions, but pop it out real quick. Linda Bleefnick was odd things found in the laundry. And I documented this a while back before Planet Common Sense, when I was just making noise and being a jackass on my old regular page, which is where I found a lot of you. I got a really, I was going to say, I don't know if I'm nice or not, but I found a bra in my laundry when I went home. It wasn't mine, and it didn't fit. I put it on just because people were busting my balls to do it, to prove that it wasn't mine. But I did so because, you know what? Do it all for you. And that was probably the weirdest thing I found. I mean, you go home with extra socks and you lose some socks and you gain a bra, and that's just life on the laundry, life in the laundromat. Somebody else asked whether I prefer powder, liquid, or pods. You know what? The pods are convenient, so I go with them most of the time. Sometimes I'll forget them, and I'll pick up a powder at the, I really don't give a shit. Whatever. Sometimes, like, I'll forget the pod altogether, and the machine will be out of soap, and I'll just throw the clothes in. And just, you know what? It's better than nothing. I'm not walking home to get a fucking Tide Pod. So sometimes that happens too. And Cornelia, I think it was, asked about vinegar versus bleach for the whites, which I don't know anything about that. And we talked about this already. I mean, I do single guy laundry. I got t-shirts, and I got jeans, and I got hoodies, and drawers, and socks, and sheets. And that shit all goes in, and the Tide Pod goes in, and the quarters go in, and that's all I know. I don't know from separating and folding. It's single guy laundry, and that's the way we do it here at Lexington Laundromat on PCS Laundry Live. So that's the laundry tips of the day. Nanner Little, you were asking about my quest for an ass. It's coming along nicely. I'm doing 5 different assometric exercises now. I'm doing a morning set and an afternoon set. We're doing 100 reps on each 5. Not going to be a video. There's not going to be any pics right now. But we'll work something out for that when there's something to talk about. But it is coming along. I can feel some progress. I think my left cheek's coming along better than my right cheek. I'm a lefty, so I don't know if, like, left ass, like lefty, like if your ass is lefty or righty. I guess it must be, because, the body has to stay balanced when you do everything else. And I'm a lefty, so I guess I'm left-cheeked. But the left cheek's coming along better. Everything's coming along nice. It's an ongoing process, but we're going to build an ass. And once I got something, that's noticeable, then we'll see about maybe doing a picture. Maybe we'll raffle off a picture or something like that. Like, hey, go out and we sell 10 copies of Thoughts from the Real during the live broadcast. I'll do an ass pic. It's not going to be a bare ass pic, so nobody panic. And I'm going to tell you another thing. I'm not even going to mention any names, but something somebody posted 15 minutes before the show was way, way, way worse than me posting a pic of my ass anyway. I'm not going to say who. You know who you are. That was awful, and it really broke my concentration getting ready for the show. But it was interesting. I thought I was going to, I don't know, we can maybe talk about that back on the thread, not doing it on the show. Mike Petty, no, I'm not going to wear a Speedo. You're always the ones asking these questions, too. You, that's... I'm a little concerned about you. Sharon Mondry, yikes. So you just don't end up looking like a Kardashian? No, it's not like that at all. I don't have an ass. That's the problem. So it's not like trying to bulk it up and make it a big blown up Kim Kardashian ridiculous birth defect looking ass. It's just trying to get an ass in general. Hang on a minute. Putting the phone down. I know. Don't smoke, but that's just the way it goes. So I've got 30 people in here so far. We peaked out at 42 last week. We still haven't hit over 46, which was the second week. But that was weird because we were trying to beat Beto with his stupid... I don't even remember what he was doing, but he had some appearance and he had like 63 people at it. And I was like, I'm going to kick his ass. You remember that? It was like 4 weeks ago. But we didn't quite make it. We had 46. So we got 30 in tonight so far. That's the peak. Last week, you know what? The numbers jumped nicely last week for the first time, really, like it twitching up. But last week was the first big jump. So get your friends, get them in here. Let's make this a big Friday night jamboree. And see if we can make the numbers go up a little more. You know how I love my numbers. So the other thing that happened that was kind of cool, and it was just a happenstance, the guy who runs this laundromat is a real nice guy. He's an older guy. He's probably early 70s. His name's Lamar. Light-skinned black guy. I don't know if he's black or if he's Hispanic. He's light-skinned. He speaks Spanish, but it's tough to tell. And he came up to me last Friday as I was leaving the laundromat after we were all done. He goes, I got something for you. And he hands me a pamphlet. And I took it because he's a good guy. He's actually a real good guy. We talked a couple of times, just casual before. And he handed me the pamphlet. And I'm like, all right, this is like the Watchtower or, some like Jehovah's Witness thing. And I took it, whatever. I put it in my pocket. I didn't look at it. So I go home. And I don't even think I pulled it out till even maybe the next day or the day after that. And it actually ended up being a pamphlet from this professor who, it was an 8-page long, not a rant, just a breakdown about the statues being torn down and the monuments being torn down in the South and people's, using that whole crusade, and it was against it, which kind of took me by surprise. People say the word prejudice and it has such a bad connotation to it. The fact is, you're prejudging people. That's all that is. It's not necessarily an awful thing. And I'll admit to it. I'll own up to it on this one. Like, I prejudged, and I wasn't expecting that from this guy. He was a great guy. A guy I would have talked to about anything anyway. And it was just a little bit of surprise when I started reading it. So I wrote through it, and he said to me, he's like, I want you to come back next week and talk to me about this. I'm like, all right. So once I saw what it was, I was like, and A, this could be a trap. B, I mean, there's not even an A, B, and C. It could have been anything. I wasn't sure what it was going to be. But I read it, and it was legit, man. The guy was talking about some serious stuff. So I went back tonight. And the problem with it is I wanted to go back and talk to him and get deep down into it. And I'm like, look, here's the thing. I get here right out of work. I got to dump this laundry in, and I got about 25 minutes to just get my shit together and get outside and do the show. And I explained to him about PCS Laundry Live and everybody's, the whole thing we do. And I was like, I got like 15, 20 minutes to talk. And the other thing is I read this one time. And I like to read something before I'll go deep into it. I'd like to read it several times just to make sure I get the scope, get into the little nitty-gritty details of it, and make sure I understand everything. I was like, but, it was cool that you gave me this, and I'm kind of psyched. And we talked about it for about 5 minutes. And my man Lamar is a conservative, and he's a Trump guy, and it was a nice little pleasant surprise. And it would have been okay if he wasn't, because he's still a good guy at the end of the day. And our relationship is purely laundry-related, and I could be nice to anybody, for the 10, 15 minutes. I'm going to sit down and talk and chat over laundry and getting change for the machine. So it would have been fine if it wasn't. It would have been weird if it was like the test thing like I thought it was going to be. But Lamar's a conservative, and I'm wondering about, maybe at some point, if he's game, popping him into the show, and I'll have my first live guest that wasn't just somebody looking for a haircut or bumming a cigarette off of me. So that'd be kind of cool. So, all right. So there's lots of stuff going on, and I'm going to do a quick scroll through some of these comments and see what we can bite onto. We're still talking about my ass. What's wrong with you people? Don't worry about my ass. Okay, you have to take the pods away from a screaming liberal. Well, I ate a pod one time, but it was purely by accident. and it wasn't a Tide Pod. It was a Gain Pod. It was like a real purple grape looking purple, but it didn't taste like that. And the reason I ate it was just because I'm absent freaking minded when I'm trying to do other things. And I was putting the laundry in, and I had to get some change out, and I had my phone in my hand, and I took the pod and I just put it in my mouth just to hold it, completely forgetting that moisture is what activates the outer membrane, and it dissolved right in my mouth, and it was pretty freaking awful. And I deserved every bit of that. But I didn't do your typical, dumbass little millennial, oh, let's eat a Tide Pod, oh, let's throw cheese at babies' faces. What are we going to do today? What dumbassery are we going to be the trend today? They never, the right people never pick up the stick your head in a plastic bag and breathe for 20 minutes challenge. They just want to throw cheese in each other's face. They should throw bologna slices at each other's asses, I think, personally, but whatever. Okay, so back to the comments. Mike Patty, you going to wear a Speedo? No, I am not. Been through that already. Oh my God, yes, I read it. You need a before pic too. A before ass pic? You guys are terrible. Hello, you smoking? Yes, I'm smoking. I know it's bad for me. It's going to stump my growth and all that. I don't smoke a lot, so it is what it is. Cornelia Bates is here. We answered your question earlier. I don't know if you heard it or not. But Amy Thompson, nice intense New Jersey accent. I lived in New Jersey for the first 7 months of my life, so I don't know where I got that from. But it's a New York accent. It's an outside New York accent. It's a blend of a lot of things, actually. But I would never call it a New Jersey accent, but that's okay. You can call it that if you want. What do we got here? You want someone, at least no one can call you an ass. No, that's certainly not true. I get called an ass a lot. You just don't see it because those people get deleted before you wake up. Because the moderation fairies get up early in the morning here at Planet Common Sense Facebook and take care of all that business. But Missy McCracken Gall, hi from the political pylon. Welcome to Planet Common Sense Laundry Live and Planet Common Sense in general. I spoke to Andrew in the past from the political pylon, who, if I'm not mistaken, I believe, and I might have it wrong, that he was the owner of the page, but I don't know. So tell me who you are from the political pylon. Great site. And Andrew, I hope I remember his name right, because I haven't spoken to him in a while. But Andrew's a pretty good guy, and he helped me out with a few things. And we went back and forth a few times and boosted each other's pages, so that's cool. It's nice to build that kind of relationship. We're doing that with Reagan Babe, a couple of other small sites, Rough Riders. But yeah, Missy McCracken Gall, let me know who you are. Let me know what you do with Political Pylon. And anybody listening, check out the Political Pylon. It's a nice page. It's a small page like us. I believe it's also a fairly new page, but if I'm not mistaken, it's a branch off from a bigger page, or like a conglomerate of pages or something like that. But Missy, you can fill everybody in on that. Deborah Patera, Amy Schumer posted a naked prego photos. Okay, so I just got food that I'm going to take home and I'm going to eat in about 2 hours. And you already wrecked me with that other thing you were talking about. And now you're telling me about that freaking beluga whale in a blonde wig showing prego pics, which, y'all know I like fat chicks, okay? I've never made a secret of that. And it's not that makes her disgusting and gross. It's the ideology, and it's the words and the dialogue. And it doesn't help that she's a horrible comic. I don't know how she ever made, not that, whatever. I mean, I'm sitting here doing it for free on Facebook. So I guess I really don't have a position to take on that, but she's not a great comic in my opinion. All right, same cigarettes, so don't panic. It's kind of rude that I'm doing this, I suppose, but fuck. Well, that was a flow killer. Okay. Amy Schumer, naked prego pics. Yeah, don't post those. I'd appreciate that, because that's horror show shit. That's like that whole thing where you say you should put Amy Schumer's picture on the Viagra bottle, so that way you can post it if erection lasts more than 4 hours, don't bother your physician. Just look at this picture of naked Amy Schumer, and that shit's all over with. She's the antidote for that. So that's enough about Amy Schumer. So who do we got? It would be great to bring him on live. Mona Eves. Yeah, Lamar. That's I'm going to pursue that. You know what another thing I did this week was, too? So we tried to mess around with a live show. Not a live show. We didn't go live, but me and my son, we do dinner Tuesday nights. And I'm like, I want to get him in on this because he's like-minded with us, my younger son. And he's got some interesting takes on things from a kid his age. And I kind of want to do something with him, with PCS. And he's going to get involved. He's been working on some memes and stuff, training him. But we did a show Tuesday. We just did like a face show where we go to this pizza place. We've been going there every Tuesday night for like 5-6 years now. We went to other places before that were our regular spots. And I was like, just going to set up the camera. And not even like talk. We're just going to I just want to see how our dialogue sounds looking back at it. I want to come up with some more programming. If we're going to pursue this live stuff, it can't just be this one thing. We just try some things. And set up the camera and just two of us chatting over dinner and just some crazy shit comes up, which is what prompted me, to try this. We rolled the camera for about 40 minutes and I went to look at it the next day and it wasn't great. But the reasons it wasn't great were more technical. Like, he put his big friggin' polar bear looking paw right in front of the camera, so all you really saw was that the whole time. But working on some other stuff, this is we're just trying to come up with some ideas to expand upon this a little bit. Did 7 weeks now doing this, and doesn't seem like anybody hates it. It seems like most people seem to be enjoying it. So we're going to try and expand upon it, but I'm not going to just throw up any kind of crap. We'll come up with some good stuff. So, Amy Thomason, I would love to hear Lamar's perspective on the Confederate statues. Being a Southerner, I have strong opinions on that one myself. That's the one thing we did talk about, since that was the topic matter of the pamphlet. I did dive into it. I'm like, I said to him, like, I don't know, is this like a test for me or whatever the case may be? What's your take on it? Tell me, and he was horrified by it. He was actually really, really upset. And that's where I knew it was kind of like the waters were safe, and I kind of opened up a little more to him. And he was pretty upfront right from the start, but he was not for it in any way. And I talked about a few of the things that bothered me, and he kicked around. I was like, it's not just the principle of it. Yeah, I guess it is the principle. It's entirely the principle of it. But you break it down. First of all, and I've said this stuff before too, that's a short-term instant gratification. That's not solving anything. Pulling down a Confederate statue. That's not solving a thing. It doesn't solve a thing. That makes you feel better that night. And you glow about it the next morning. And you're filled with righteous indignation and you made a difference. And 3 days later, you know what? Fuck all. Nobody cares. You didn't do anything except make an ass out of yourself. You didn't do anything. And the other thing that bothers me about that thing, and this is not Lamar, and I know, Amy, you're asking about that. This is me, and we'll get into it with him if he ever wants to come on. But second thing about, and along those same lines, you talk about, and they were doing these statues months ago. It's not so much happening so much anymore. When they were doing this hot and heavy, there were names popping up that I didn't even know who they were. And I'm saying to myself, I'm looking at these kids that are doing this and the people that are doing this. It's like, you people didn't even know this guy's name 2 weeks ago. And here you are, pulling down a statue that's been sitting there for 150 years or 100 years or whatever. And you don't even know this asshole's name. You don't even know what he did until somebody told you last week and said, let's go tear down his statue. And that's offensive. You want to talk about being offended. That's offensive. And Lamar actually did mention something about that too. He said he played it along the same lines. And he's like, a lot of the times from the South, these people, they were like the wives of the Confederate soldiers that put this stuff up. And just good and bad and everything. And this statue doesn't necessarily connotate good things. But it's things that happened. It commemorates things that happened. So you don't forget those things, good or bad. And it's not necessarily to celebrate what happened, but so you don't forget what happened. And then the last thing that I hit him back with, and again, it was just a brief conversation. The last thing I hit him back with, and this is going to maybe sound a little weird or off or whatever, but I said to him, one of the most offensive things to me was just the gratuitous destruction of art. that somebody put a lot of effort into making that thing, who had nothing to do with what you're talking about, nothing at all to do with what you're crying about, and you just rip that down. And you know, I'm not going to call myself an artist. I write, I do memes. That's hardly art. But I'm a musician. I've done stuff like that before, and that's the most offensive part. Just on a personal level, that's the most offensive part of the whole thing, is that art's getting destroyed gratuitously by people who don't even know why the fuck they're doing it. That didn't solve anything. And man, I don't want to get aggravated about this, but yeah. So that was the conversation we had, and you know what, Amy, I'm going to pursue that with her. I'm going to get them on. I don't know about right away, because again, I'm still filling this out and figuring out how to do it. I don't necessarily want to bring in somebody else and just be tripping all over shit. So we'll get to that, though, because that's a great idea. Trust me, the cigarette just keeps still going out. I'm not like smoking, chain smoking. I'm not going to do it anymore after this one. It's a matter of principle more than anything, the fact that it keeps going out. So I'm going to get through this one, and that's going to be the end, because I'm not going to be rude to y'all anymore. All right, so getting on with it. Missy McCracken, it's Alexander. Alexander, if you're listening, I apologize. I hadn't talked to you in a while. And Alexander, Missy and Alexander run the Political Pylon together. So cool on you guys. That's a great page. You guys put up some good stuff, and you've definitely been a friend to PCS, and we appreciate that too. So thanks for letting me know. Amy Thompson backing me up on that. Political Pylon is a good page. Been following them for a while, so you might even be before me, because I've only been a couple months. Deborah Patera, sorry. Don't be sorry, my love. It's okay. You can hit them hearts all you want. It's the other things, like I said in the on the page, I could have done without hearing that. V. Marie, you need a Zippo. Nah, I need one of those lighters that just makes that little nasty little blue flame, because that thing shit doesn't go out. I used to light cigarettes on a motorcycle on the highway with those. That's what I gotta get. So either quit smoking or buy a fucking lighter that works. All right, pipe down. Kira Weber Hopwood. Okay. Missy McCracken Gale again, thanks. No, it's our second time around. We were deleted in early 2018. Fired it back up. Our group pages, you don't have a snowflake's chance in hell. And I've been to that site too, and I didn't know that was, and I can't remember what Alexander said the name of the page was. I guess that was it. But he told me about a couple of other pages. So you don't have a snowflake's chance in hell is a page I've been to too, and I posted there. And I pulled some people from there as well. You know how that whole, we went through all that last week. And imagine you guys do the same thing. I mean, why wouldn't you? It's a bountiful way to harvest new people to your site. So I suppose you guys, I just found out about it like on my own. Nobody told me about it. I don't know if you guys knew about it and do that, but yeah, definitely pulled some people from that page too. So great, good to have you here with us tonight. I hope you like the show. Go back to Political Pylon and tell them all to come and get in here next Friday. We'll build that up, and we'll do some nice things for you. And thank you again for that. Oh, Missy, I follow your page. Brenda Kelly also follows. Who else? Just go down here. Everybody's saying, oh, you're reading the comments faster than I am. I didn't even realize you guys could. Yeah, I guess you could see the comments. Again, I don't know shit about this, so just doing a time check real here. We got about a half hour left to go. It seems like we haven't much talked about anything yet. I'll tell you what, though, we're getting a lot less foot traffic passing by here, so. The courthouse. Bring it on, Hill. You're going down in there, you miserable old goat, and I can't wait. V. Marie. It's horribly bad on our city-state monies to pull down statues in Dallas. The current one they are trying to do now is supposed to cost $500,000 to remove. Ridiculous. How could it possibly cost $500,000 to take down a statue? I could go there with a sledgehammer and take that shit down in a night. I don't know. I mean, how big it is, it's not like the Statue of Liberty or anything, but $500,000 to take down a statue, that's absurd. You double check that. I mean, I'm not doubting you, but that can't possibly be right. Let me know on that, because that's pretty insane. But Mike Patty, people believe they remove statues that change things. They are ignorant. It is history. You can't change history. You just learn from it. And that's correct too. It's rewriting history and erasing the stuff you don't like. That's a panacea. That doesn't solve a thing. And we're not getting any, and it pisses people off on top of that. So it doesn't create dialogue. It doesn't help things. And it makes the people that put the statue there or are part of that, mad at you. So tell me what's good about that. Tell me where the dialogue starts from that. Tell me how you solve things from that. In fact, don't. Just stop doing that silly shit. So, scrolling along. Jim Thomas. The Nazis destroyed all the degenerate art. You know what, too? And I can't remember if it was a pamphlet this guy gave me, or if it was something else I picked up along the way. They were talking about the distinction between when we did the same thing at the end of the Gulf War. Whichever one it was, the first or the second, where we were pulling. Well, it wasn't even really us. I guess we had something to do with it. Maybe we helped, but pulling down all the statues of Saddam Hussein and his sons and all that stuff. And you want to say, okay, well, you're a hypocrite, saying, that's our history, and that's history, and that really happened. And man, you know what? That's a little different. That you're talking about somebody who just slaughtered millions of his own people. I could see why they would want to take those statues down. That's a different game altogether. That's not a monument to history. That's a monument to a dictator. That's a monument to someone who slaughtered millions of people that he didn't like. It's a different game altogether. And we'll bash that around a little, I guess, because I thought that was a really, really good point. And I don't remember the guy's name who wrote it. I got the thing here, but I don't want to get it out now and start getting all deep into that. So. But a lot to talk about on that. We should make that a topic, and I definitely got to talk to the guy about getting on and see how that goes. But all right, so look in your bic. All right, enough with the light already. I'll stop. I told you. Common Sense Conservative, Missy. Common Sense Conservative. That's the one I remember. That he had told me about initially when he first came out to me. So good for you guys on that. Keep it pumping, and we'll throw you some love whenever we can. So, guys, definitely check out all those pages. Deborah Patera. This, man, I'm going to read the comment, and it's a good one, but it just, made me pause. People don't even know what racism is anymore. Bash that around, because that's a very, very valid point. That's a word. I said this a long time ago. Years ago, way, way back before PCS was even thought of, or that word is a word that you should hate that word. You should be afraid of that word, and you should be never want to be associated with that or have people associate you with that word. That's the kind of word where if somebody says that to you, it makes you stop and say, really? I am. What did I say? What did I do wrong? I shouldn't do that thing again because this person just labeled me racist. And nobody feels like that anymore. I don't. I honestly, God, it doesn't. You can call me a racist all you want. It doesn't mean a thing to me. It's been so diluted, and it's a shame that a word like that became diluted through overuse, because that word should mean something. It should be deep, and it should be a painful meaning, and it should be a word that you don't want anywhere near you, related to you, hung on you, pinned to you for any reason. You should be terrified of that word. You should abhor that word. And you don't anymore. Because people use that for the silliest shit. You go on ESPN and say, oh, Kobe Bryant couldn't hit a free throw last night. Oh, you're a racist. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm a racist. It's like, and I don't mean to be offensive about it, and I've said stuff like this. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because I've said it before, but racism is the new ranch dressing. You slather it on everything in your life that doesn't taste good and make your whole world taste better. That's what racism has become. That's what that word has become. It's a useless, ineffective, silly word that just makes people roll their eyes. So, that's my thoughts on it. You reclaim that word. There's no, you can't really do that. You're never going to make it be as poignant and as compelling as it used to be. It's a throwaway word now. It's never going to get the connotation that goes with you don't use certain words anymore. That should be one of those words you don't want used, but it's not. Everybody uses it, and it doesn't mean shit anymore. So that's my take on that. You guys can kick it around all you want, and we can certainly talk about that more. V. Marie, back with the data. Okay, Here's the cost of the last one they did. The fall of General Robert E. Lee's statue from an Oak Lawn park will cost taxpayers more than $450,000. That's atrocious. That's piracy. I mean, that's just, there's no way that could possibly cost that much to do. I mean, you get a half a dozen people with sledgehammers and wheelbarrows and a pickup truck or two, and you take the statue down. It's $450,000 to take that. So you know what? There's one more reason that you people are assholes who are taking down statues. You're not getting anything done. You're costing people money, and you're just a fucking idiot. Okay? So that's all I have to say about that. So there we go. It's after 03. Deborah's right though. Yeah. Overused word. Okay. So I got the link, B. Thank you for doing that. Appreciate it, love. Someone builds a monument to themselves, they risk having it pulled down. Okay, well, that's a different story. You know, that's kind of cocky and arrogant, like to build. Okay, I see what you're saying now. You're talking about like the Saddam Hussein thing. Yeah. I mean, you obviously weren't going to leave that one standing up. I don't foresee too many statues of Nancy Pelosi getting erected. I can't believe I just used the words Nancy Pelosi and erected in the same sentence, because that's like fucking peanut butter and Drano. But there you go. Amy Thompson, I'm a white Republican from Alabama. Being called racist stopped phasing me ages ago. At this point, I expected it. That's what I'm talking about. It's just a mundane, everyday word now, and all the impact stripped away from it, from its just brutal overuse, from its go-to as, your third thing you say in an argument when you're losing. You're a racist. Oh, okay. I guess you don't have anything else, any other points to make, so I'm a racist now. I'm going to end that. That's how you know you won. But yeah, man. Giggle snorts at Nancy Pelosi erection in the same sentence. Yeah, that was pretty good. All right. Scrolling down, back up. Got any new people in here? Penny Peaky Williams. What's up? Great name. I love that name. So, Deborah's hitting the hearts again. What do you think about Beto? Beta. What a non-player. What a joke. What a fundraiser. That's all this is. This clown's not going to... You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. You couldn't win your own state in the Senate race with the power of Democrat cheating at your side, with Hollywood throwing money at you, and you couldn't beat the guy who lost to Trump in 2016 in the primaries. So you're going to beat Trump, and you're so full of shit that it's not even funny, you fucking moron. You're a joke. You're fundraising just like the rest of them, and that's all you're going to do. I don't even say anything to say about this guy. He's an empty suit, idiot kid with no ideas. Now he's jumping on the green new dumbass deal, which is going to go nowhere, obviously, because that's a joke too. Fuck Beto. I'm done with Beto. Next. Donna Klein, using the word racist is only an easy way out of a conversation. One doesn't have a clue what they're talking about. That's exactly what I'm saying. So, Aubrey Morelli, veto Beto. All right, I'll give you that one. Forget vanilla Obama. Yang seems the one to watch right now. Yang. No idea who that is. So fill me in. I'm telling you. And everybody laughs, and everybody has a rebuttal. But I'm telling you right now, Bernie Sanders, if he has not assumed the room temperature by November of 2020, is going to be the Democratic candidate. 100%. That's why you're not hearing him saying stupid shit out there. You know, he just says his normal Bernie stupid shit that everybody knows already. So it's not hurting him. Where everybody else is bringing out new stupid shit. You know, heals up Harris. You know, I can't even look at her without imagining Willie Brown's sweaty back just snorting away like a steam engine. And, okay, that's enough of that. So, Bernie's the guy. I'm telling you right now. Running mate, don't know. Anybody wants to venture a guess on that? And I keep being cagey about it, and this is spontaneous, like that I brought it up now, so I'm really not prepared to like lay out my whole thesis on it. But you've been hearing nothing but socialism since the last election. You never heard about socialism before. And it poked its nasty little head up in little ways from before that, but now they're openly talking about it. And now they're openly talking about it as a potential platform for the Democratic Party. And I posted this one. Who is the first person you think of when you hear the word socialism? And don't tell me it's Bariqua Barbie, because she's not involved in this. She's not even eligible. She comes into play. The first person you think of for a presidential candidate in 2020, when you hear the word socialism, is Bernie Sanders. And they've been paving the way. That's, again, it's just me. It's just my opinion. I'm not afraid of being wrong. And if I'm wrong, you know where to find me to come and tell me I'm wrong. I'm not afraid of it, and I'll own it. But I'm telling you. And I'll throw you one more bone. I can be more comprehensive on this. I got about 8 or 10 points that I can make on this to back up what I'm trying to say. But since she popped up too, the biggest thing I'm hearing about Bernie not being the candidate is his age, which I guess he's 77 or 78 now, which means he's going to be 79 or 80 when the time comes for the election, which means he's going to be 84 in 2024 if he runs again, and he'll be 88, give or take a year, if he makes it a full 2 years, 2 terms, if he's elected for 2 terms. Okay, but that's old. That's kind of old to be president of the United States. I think Donald Trump's a little old. The guy's I don't know how he does it. It's like he doesn't sleep, but he's no kid. And I get what you're saying about Bernie being too old. It doesn't matter a bit. It doesn't matter a bit. Because you're saying that stuff because it's logical and it makes sense and it's smart. And the people who are going to vote for Bernie Sanders are none of those things. They're illogical. They have no sense, and they're not smart. Because if you're voting for Bernie Sanders, you lose all 3 of those things. So I get the age thing, what you're saying. I get your perspective on it, but it's not going to matter. They're not going to look at that. You know what they're going to look at? Free shit. And where are you going to get free shit from? You're going to get free shit from Bernie Sanders. You're really not, but that's what he's telling you, and you're not logical and you're not smart. So you're not, it doesn't matter. He's telling you you're going to get free shit, so that's what you're going to vote for. Here's the anti-age thing, and this is reaching, but just hear me out, and maybe when it comes together with all the rest of the things I have to say, which I swear I'll get around to doing one of these days. I know I keep talking about it. Bernie Sanders doesn't have to make it through 2 terms. Bernie Sanders has to get elected, which he's not. Don't worry about it. He's not going to win. This is just silly talk anyway, so we're just having fun with this. Because it's not... This isn't going to be an election in 2020. It's going to be a re-election. Nobody panic. Okay, but Bernie has to make it, has to get elected. He has to make it through his first term. And he has to get re-elected. And after he's sworn in, after the second term, after the second election, that ridiculous old Muppet can die anytime he wants to. And his vice president, whoever that may be, that'll be a nightmare. Maybe it's Beto. Can finish out that term. And guess what happens in 2024? After another 4 years of paving the way for socialism, after the Democratic Party playing it up and all of them turning that way, in 2024, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez will be old enough to run for president. And if you think they're not grooming that silly little twat as their next hope, just like they did with Obama, only more extensively and for a longer period of time and going way, way back further than they did with him, you're nuts, because that's 100% what they're doing. So that's how she plays into the Bernie story, okay? Bernie's just got to get elected. He's got to get a running mate that's not going to die within the 8 years, and he's got to get reelected, and he can go anytime, and that's who you're looking at in 2024. So, you know what? You think I'm crazy? I'm not even reading the comments while I talk about that, so I don't know what you're saying about it, and you can say whatever you like. That's my theory. Like I said, I'm not afraid of being wrong. So if I am wrong, that's okay. You can come back and bust my balls all you want about it. But the left is calling him the next JFK. You're talking about Beto? That's because he looks like him, I guess, a little bit. But he's an idiot. So I would absolutely, AJ Harkley, you asked a question earlier today too, and I can't remember what it was. It was a good one though. So if you remember it, we don't have a lot of time, but if you remember it, pop it back up, AJ. I apologize, I totally forgot those notes. I'm going to do better next time. I would absolutely love to watch Bernie debate Trump. I would love to debate Bernie. Forget about watching Bernie debate Trump. Bernie Sanders, I know I tried this and I ended up getting Facebook shut down this week because I called Mark Zuckerberg an asshole on the live broadcast. Hi, Mark, if you're still watching this week. But Bernie Sanders, if you're watching PCS Laundry Live, just say the word, man. I'll come wherever you are. And I'll do my laundry Saturday when I get home. I'll come to Vermont and debate you because that would be a treat. I would love to debate you because it'll be complete havoc. And I'll let the game kick down, but it'll be fun. As long as you let me do it live. Any Friday night, I'll come up and do PCS Laundry Live from Vermont. You got laundromats up there, I take it, because you've got dirty clothes, so why wouldn't you? I will come up and debate Bernie. But yeah, Bernie versus Trump, any of these, who are you going to put against Trump in a debate? Joe Biden? He's like, if you just looked at a picture of him, of Joe Biden, and you didn't know anything about him and what a scumbag he is and how dumb he is and that he was just a court jester and he was the guy that the Obama administration just held up, said, don't shoot me, because if you shoot me, you get this mook. That was Joe Biden. He was the court jester. So, if you don't know all that stuff and you just look at a picture of Joe Biden, he's the most statesman-like, like just visually speaking. If you looked at a picture of him and said, this is going to be the Democratic candidate. Like, it was just like 25 years ago when there was no internet, or 30 years ago. I don't know, it's like 30. I think we just had the 30th anniversary. But this was like in the 80s. And you didn't really get to know Joe Biden. Like, you've gotten to know Joe Biden over the last 10 years. He's the most statesman-like candidate. Put him against Trump in a debate, and Trump will eat him alive. He'll kill him. And there's, I get it about, like, Trump debating Bernie would be a treat. I can't even decide. I don't know. Was there like 20 candidates out right now? If you even want to call them candidates, they're a mess. It's like the Keystone Cops. But there's not one of them that isn't going to be anything but a comedy show when they debate. None of them has a point. None of them has a record. None of them has anything to point back to. Trump can get up on that podium and he say, look what I did for the economy. Look at the jobs I built. Look at me making every effort I can to keep this country safe. He vetoed today. He vetoed the that friggin' travesty that the Swampublican majority blew. I don't want to get into that this late, but I don't know if anybody saw that or not. But he filled out the veto papers. But you're not gonna. Who's gonna debate Trump? It's gonna be like Trump against Kamala Harris. Every one of these candidates has one line that you could just gut him with. Kamala Harris can get up and spend 5 minutes in her opening statement and lay out her entire platform, whatever it may be, it doesn't matter, and just be professional and poised and good diction and everything else. And then Trump could go up to the podium and say, Willie Brown, and that debate's over. What are you going to do? Same thing with Beto. He can get up there and talk about the new Green Deal, and he can talk about, we're going to change it, and he can be the best he could be the best Beto he can be. And Trump can go up to the podium and say, DUI back in 1989, and it's over. We don't have presidents with mugshots. We have presidents who tried to be president who should have mugshots. We talked about them a little earlier. But who are you going to put up against Trump in a debate? The best part about the upcoming Democratic debates is 100% going to be Donald Trump live tweeting them. It's going to be the greatest thing you've ever seen on the internet. And I hope he's getting behind. I swear, Mr. President, if you're watching, or if anybody out there, I know I got a couple of contacts down in Washington who work, around the government. Tell them to call me, and I'll swear to God, I'll come down and do it for free. I'll help them write lines for live tweeting during the Democratic debates. That would be 10 Christmases for me. So, Mr. President, if you're watching PCS Laundry Live, I'm here, man. Give me a call. So, I want to do a quick check on the time because I think we're probably pretty close. We have about 5 or 6 minutes left. So, I'm going to get up and I'm going to start walking back toward the laundromat. Touched on a lot of cool stuff tonight. I want to tell you another nice thing. You know, it was cool with it with having the light, that extra hour light. It was pretty badass. It was different. I don't know if I sound different in the light. Do I sound different in the light? What? That's kind of stupid. The other thing too, it's beautiful out here tonight. We didn't talk about the weather at all. It's about dying. It's like 60, probably about 55 right now. There was supposed to be 60% chance of thunderstorms and rain throughout the day and the night. And I was like, we can't have that, because I'm going outside to do this show no matter what. So fuck all that with raining on me and thunderstorming on me. And somebody must have listened, man, because you know what? It was 65 degrees today, and I don't think we got a drop of rain. So this is the first week I'm wearing just a hoodie and loving life in the WP. So, PCS Laundry Live, episode 7 is drawing to a close. I want to thank everybody, as always, for coming out. You guys are the best. We're going to make this thing into a monster. We're going to beat CNN in the ratings. And MSNBC too. Rachel Maddow. That was great. That with her and Sally Cohn. They used to be Wham. I've used that one before, but it's always a good one. But again, thank you all for your support on Planet Common Sense. It's been an interesting week with the shutdown, but we had good growth again, so appreciate all that. Tell your friends, drag them in there. We're gonna hit 6,000 by next week. So when we're doing this show next Friday, we're gonna have 6,000. We're gonna crack that nut over the week. I found a few new ways around the algorithms today, so that's going to play nicely if I don't get suspended again. And that's the story on that. Take a minute, go to Amazon. You know, I'm not going to beg, but the book's out there. Thoughts from the Real. It's dated and old. It's short, but it's cheap. So it's some good bathroom material. So I'd really appreciate you picking up the book if you haven't done that already. Anybody who has, tell all these other people it was pretty good, so maybe they'll buy one too. Every book you buy is about a half a cup of coffee for me in the morning, so appreciate you getting on that. All the sites that popped up that we talked about tonight, go check them out, because you know what? We're just kind of getting a nice little casual relationship together, a little coalition, you know, whatever. I don't want to be too formal about these things because, yeah, I'm not the most dependable guy in that respect, so I'll be there. But the political pylon, Reagan Babe, which that post early this morning was great with the No Beto Pendejo t-shirt. That was hilarious. So check out Reagan Babe and check out all the other sites. You can scroll back through the comments, but all the political pylon related sites, they're very cool people, so check them out. And as always, come and see us at Planet Common Sense anytime you like. And thank you again for tonight. Had a great time. And I am